Oh, this crap. Whatever. Now all I gotta do is plug it up. Come on. Yo, yo, yo. What's up with the sound check? No, that was me. That was me. Yo. Hold on, man. Something ain't right, like I gotta fix that, cause something like that. Welcome back to another commercial. Logan, what's up, Logan, babe? Okay. All right, we're good. Welcome back to another commercial. I fixed it. I fixed it. Still got a little echo, so I gotta work on that. Anyway, how you guys doing today? How y'all doing? What's up? Appreciate the like button. You hitting the like. I'm not working today because the weather's horrible. If you can hear me really good, okay, that sounds better. So I would do the news with y'all, but it's just it's discouraging. So I don't even want to talk about it. It's a little discouraging for me because um, when it's time to go to the bank this week, ain't gonna be nothing but rain, teardrops, teardrops, raindrops. It's all this not good. I was fortunate to work over the weekend, so was pushing close to today's Tuesday. I was pushing a little some hours for a minute, and then the bottom fell out. You know what I'm saying? And I left out of here this morning, got the message that they canceled, and I was like, man, I'm trying to get to 40 by Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. I could have had it, but so the rest of the week is a wash. It's looking ugly. Let's change the subject because I'm gonna get hot. I don't even want to talk. Landscapers are out there making all the noise, so pardon me if you hear that in the background. It's those guys. Um, but I got some things I need to handle anyway, so it's not really a big deal. It does kind of it does put a like a gray cloud on the day because I did want to get up and go. what's that? I did want to get up and go to the job and hey, what's up? What's that? Hada Hada Crockett Hadada. Is that how you say that? Hadada Crockett. Thank you for joining me, and good morning to you as well. So, but I have some other things I need to do. I got to make some phone calls. So it's better to be able to not have to do stuff like that while you're at work. And, I could use today as a day to handle some of my business and try to set up some things. I need to set up some things and um, get in contact with some people. So, but how's everybody doing today on this lovely, lovely 4th of August? August 4th, 2026 is Tuesday, y'all. Uh, I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I said Tuesday could be trash talk day, but I don't want to trash talk nobody. But if there's anybody that you want to trash, leave their name in the comments. It's like I could trash some people right now if I really, really wanted to. So Tuesday like seems to be a dumpster day. I'll trash the weatherman, I tell you that, man, because that Bama he's still getting paid and he lying because it didn't even rain yesterday. Luckily I worked yesterday, but let's trash the weatherman, right? And if your day was affected by him lying, talking about it's gonna rain and it then don't rain, right? Hit that like button. Hit that like button, man. So aside from that, really basically it's just, kind of one of those days. Lola, as you can see, my puppy, she's she's always ever so close to me in the morning. She wants to sit where she'll get just as close to me as she can. I told her I don't want her up under my feet while I'm sliding around in this chair. I think she wants to go out on the balcony. But she get to barking at those landscapers, and I'm like, man, you can't do that, mom. It's too early. It's too early. But shout out to her. She's in the building. Lola, love that dog. You guys got your coffee? Cause just cause I'm not working don't mean I ain't decaffing it up. you know, throw it back. Mm. Good thing about it is I'm home, and if I want to make another cup, I can. I hate going stopping places and go in there try to get some decaf, and then they don't got the kind of mix that I like, and it's like either a waste of money. I'll refill my cup and then I mess around, won't even drink it. Come home and it still be in my coffee, man. I wash that out of there. So, but we still blessed going. We still got it going. We blessed. We blessed to be here, man. Shout out to Motivated 2010. And thank you for the prayers and the support. All right. And anybody that has been um, kind of under the weather and not feeling well, what was Maria? Is it Maria? Don't exactly remember all of her name, but shout out to her and stuff. Um, hey, shout out to Corey's World too. Last night, if you guys weren't in that live with the Music Monday, she did a gospel thing. Go check it out. I was kind of, in tears. I told her because it was very, very. It took me back. It took me back. So I wanted to shout her out because, um, yeah, that was cool that she did that gospel thing last night. Was last night? Yeah, it was last night, Monday. So let me get some lights going on over here. Hold on. Let me put on my YouTube light for y'all. YouTube likes when you got lights on. I don't know why. Let me plug in my YouTube light. All this stuff for nothing. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. Like Shauna says, she's still winning over there with no microphone, with no lights. I mean, I'm not saying no lights. But with all the extras, and don't think that you need all that stuff. Like she said, I mean, I just went out and got it, because I was able to. Not that people aren't able to, but people don't feel the need to. I did it because I wanted to kind of bring the feel to you, the YouTube streaming feel, and then plus this stuff was all matching with my living room anyway. Um, Shout out to my boy, man. Rest in peace, man. ILP, man, and Living Room Productions. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of a spin-off of, Don Juan, the great ILP in studio in Living Room Production. Let's get these lights going. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. We ain't paying electricity. What's going on? Lights ain't working now. See? See? A lot of times this stuff don't really even be working. Spend all this money on it. Oh, there we go. This must be AI and stuff, right? This light is AI generated. It heard me talking, and then it just pulled up for me. Dim it down a little bit to a little bit of red. That's good. I like that. I like that. And something about the algorithm too, man. The algorithm picks up on all this stuff. Now, does it work? I don't know. I can't tell you that. But, we give it a try anyway. So, shout out to Jadakiss. I want to get some music going. Y'all give me a minute, 1 second. Go in and out of the music, and we'll really get the in living room production feel going. I can't make too much noise because, wifey's in the other room working. And I can't disturb her. She works from home. And it's still a little too early to be pumping the music up. Shout out to all my new subscribers too. I appreciate you guys. I'm getting alerts over here. But shout out to y'all guys, man. Um, let me just go and see just to name a few. Jeffrey Saver, appreciate you. Rhonda and Ala, who's that? Oh, Rhonda Alamance count. No, 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 no. Rhonda and here it is. I'm sorry. Alabama Country, appreciate you for your subscribing to the channel. John Roberts. Unc James is in the house. I appreciate you, Unc James, for subscribing to me too, man. Oh, Whitney. Shout out to Whitney, the bartender. Shout out to Whitney for subscribing. I was over there the other day, Whitney, and you weren't there, so Mason served me a few drinks. But shout out to Whitney for subscribing. Um, fishing, fishing gangle, fishing gangle, or is it fishing gangle wings? Yeah, fishing gangle wings. Shout out to you for your subscribing. So listen, I can't I have to get more subscribers, you guys. I need more subscribers, be able to start a members only and like a private group. I got the Discord kind of set up. I'm trying to learn how to fool around with that. But I need more subscribers. I appreciate a lot of people that watch are not subscribed. So you guys just remember, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help me run the numbers up and hit the like button. But I'm trying to get to where I could do the members only because I got a lot of things that I really want to come up here and say, but I can't because I don't want YouTube to, like it's for the members. It would be for the members to really, really get more acquainted with me, my personality. And, I'm not saying I want to vent, but I do want to be able to say what I want to say without having to censor, some of the things. And then even people that might come on, like we could do some, hardcore topics, and you could really speak with. I tell people too, when I say, "Look, man, I'm gonna bring you on the show, but there's some rules." You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to be, I don't want to put a bad image on the channel, but feel free to say what's on your mind. Just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jesus loves you. Yes. Appreciate you for that, man. God is good, man. And I know that he loves me because the Bible tells me so. You feel me? Yes. So that's the other thing too, because there's the community is made up of so many different, people from different backgrounds, from, I know that there are people out there that is living that life, that street life or whatever the case may be, right? Been there, done that. And I appreciate you. This is a place where you'll have a voice, but you have to be respectful because again, there are people that are God fearing and that love the Lord that follow this channel. And it's going, we don't want to weigh heavy on nobody's ears, so that's why I say, we have members only, and I need a certain amount of subscribers to be able to have that. That doesn't mean that we're going to take and move all the shenanigans over to the members only version. No, we gotta be respectful there, but at least we don't want to have YouTube, giving us a bunch of, you know, you know, put you in YouTube jail. I don't want to go to jail. Nobody's jail. YouTube jail, um, the county that I live in, the county jail, uh, federal pen. I ain't trying to do none of that. He said trucking jail. We don't want to do that. Because see, they'll put you in trucking jail. You pull in that weight station, you ain't right. Guess what? You're not leaving. You're being detained at the scale house. Hold on, my mic went up. Yeah, you better believe you ain't moving that truck, bro. You're gonna feel like you're in jail. And don't let it be where your people's way over there. They got to come get you. You can't move the truck. You're locked up. They literally throw you in truck jail at the scale house. Yeah, DOT got somewhere for you. There's a park it over there and give me the keys. So you're out of service. Um, Sound like the landscapers on left or they moved on to the whole other side over there because it's a little peaceful and quiet out there right now. But I'm sure they'll be back. They'll be back. Aunt home in the house. Good morning, grand rising to you, Aunt. Yes, sir. Last night's show was awesome. I just did a little big up about that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what? I'm not working today because the weatherman, bro. And that's why I said today's Trash Tuesday. That's why I'm gonna do Trash Tuesday. Oh man, yeah, you gotta know I'm there every week, man. I really took a liking to that Music Monday thing, man. And it's at the right time of the evening for me too, when I could come chill and join in. You know, the topics are always like last night was a good one. I mean, the switched it up to the gospel. It was what's up. I liked that, you know, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to each episode. I'm looking forward to each episode. And that's why I'm saying, like, I was just saying, like, I'm trying to come up with some other different things too. I got to get to where I could do members only. I joined the membership over there with you guys. So um, I did pick up the membership. Um, I think I did tell, I mentioned that I was going to do it. I had to wait, and I was able to go ahead and do it. I got another membership, a couple other different memberships that I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and, do, I can do so much, but there's, there's communities that, I'm really want to make them, make sure that I'm a part of. Last night, he said, I noticed that membership last night. Big up for that. He said, bug up for that. Big up for that. Yeah, man. No doubt, no diggity. Hey, I see you in that big old. I see you in that big old crane. You was over there. I was checking you out with that crane. You you don't get affected by rain though, huh? You don't have days off because it's gonna rain, yo. I think I left a comment as well one time. Tell you real quick, those big old weights that they be having, y'all gotta use. Well, I was moving something like that, right? Well, since I'm a member now, I can see it. Y'all got a lot of stuff over there. Oh no, no, wait a minute. You have that's your channel. Oh, y'all shut down for the rain. Yeah, same thing with us. Okay. So your channel has a membership as well, right? You got a membership? Okay, all right. So I subscribed. So the reason I seen it, like you said, it was public. Okay. So you're gonna make the okay, okay. Got you, got you, got you. All right. So here's the deal with that, right? No, okay. Oh, you're gonna make it private. All right, got you, got you. All right. So listen, right? I was moving them weights. I think they're like 10 pounds each. Some of them are even more heavier. Big plates, the big plates, right? They were mad thick, thick like this. And they weren't too big. Or you're gonna hide it again. Well, yeah, man, either way, yeah, they got them plates, right? Check it out, man. The person that loaded me up, they put all, it was a couple of pallets. They should have spread those pallets out um in the trailer, you know, put one at the front of the trailer, equally distribute the weight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I got a blowout tire, blew my tire out. ones crane I use run about 27,000. I think it was somewhere in that, and because yeah, I'm rated. See, with my truck, and this is when I was, have when I was doing my owner operator thing, right? Because I have my, I had my truck and the trailer, but I got single axle, not twin screw. Makes a big difference on, you know what I'm saying, that weight that's back there, and that, you know what I'm saying, in the trailer. So they loaded me, and whoever loaded me put all those pallets to the front of the trailer. So all that, us 27, if it would, I mean, I know the weight that I booked the load for. I wasn't gonna go over 30,000 pounds, you know, um, because combined vehicle weight and everything, you're up to like 80,000, for commercial trucks. But my weight loads and stuff, I never will go. I was rated, my portion plates were rated at like about 30,000. So I believe it was like a 27,000. That's pretty much what you probably would need to, what I'm saying, sustain you. So I was moving some weights, right? I was on the truck, like I'm going on a drive. Yeah, but this person had to been new. This person had to been new. I think it was like 3 pallets, and it wasn't a lot of pallets because what I'm saying, you only need a few. They're a good size and they'll fit on a pallet. They might double stack, a couple of those weights, and then probably 2 or 3 pallets would total out to be 27,000 pounds. Because I know it wasn't. Because when I looked at it, I said, "Oh, it's only 3 pallets." I said, "Man, I'm gonna go get this load." I knew it would be heavy because just doing the math, 3 pallets, about 27,000 pounds. That's close to like 12,000 pounds each, somewhere roughly in there, each pallet. They put all that. They just came onto the truck with the pallet jack, put it all to the very front, put all that weight on my drives. So I'm rolling, and I must have hit something in the road. Boom, blew out my tire. I was like, oh. I didn't watch them while they were loading it, and that's something I should have did, you know. But lesson learned, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, that you're an experienced guy, and you gotta tell these people, man, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta tell them, like, listen, man, because every shipper thinks that that truck that's out there can carry max weight. Every shipper thinks that. Well, if not every shipper, most of the guys working on the docks that are loading, they just, that's like, I don't know, man. You got to be mindful. Drivers got to be mindful as well as whoever's loading the truck. Hey, man, how much can you carry? But a lot of times they're in a rush. They don't ask that question. They're just trying to get you loaded, get you going. You know, so they can go back somewhere and hide. It's a lot of that going on. But it's all good, man. Man, I ain't knocking nobody for hiding. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you I do it. the thing about it is, the thing about it is, you never see the trucker again, and you never know how the trip went. Exactly. All they want to do is just put the load on your truck, get you to sign the paperwork, and you're down the road. Um, unless you have a dedicated account. Now, this wasn't a dedicated account. This was just a random load that I booked off the load board, and I went and picked it up. It was paying good little money. It wasn't going far. They were never going to see me again. I was never going to see them again. I thought it was a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, it was wham bam. Boom. Wham bam boom. Bit bop bam. Roadside. It cost me too, man. It cost me because not only did that tire blow out, but it caused other damage to my truck. it caused other damage. And I had just bought those mud guards. They were brand new. I just put them on that truck, blew those right off. Well, on one on that side, and it took out something else because I have a auto grease system that automatically greases the brake system, and it messed that up. And I haven't got that sync. I never got that fixed after that. I still haven't got it fixed on that truck. So, but the brakes still work fine. It's just that, every once in a while they would squeak because it need to be greased. It is what it is, and I ain't complaining, man. But I'm glad you was able to join me, man. So, what's the rest of your week looking like, man? All hustle. Hey, and I saw that thing with that's your brother. That guy's your brother. The other guy that was in the thing I did, was it last week? Over the weekend? And the other dude, the DJ, the DJ, the one that was, I guess his birthday's on September the 3rd. He was trying to scratch it up. He was trying, I give it to him, he tried. He said it was a train wreck. Yo, that was funny. And then he told my man, say, you wasn't selling the dope right. Yo, that was too funny. I was cracking up. Uh, yo. Yo, they gotta do when they do the next thing with that one, I gotta see that, bro. He said he didn't know how to sell. Well, he's giving it away. He just he giving it away, man. Word up. Mm, mm, mm. Always has a thing. Yeah, I know. It's just like, is you crazy or something, man? What's going on? Is that was that your brother? I think you said that's your older brother. Is that your older brother? I don't know. I gotta go back and watch that again. That was a good one though. Yo, I got 6 likes, man. That's what's up, man. We need to run them. I mean, can I get to 10, 20, 15 likes? I had one video I had like, I swear, I got like, I want to say, it was a really good topic. I want to say 200 likes. I've never been able to do that again. Haven't done that since then. 200 likes, and there was so many comments. I ain't had a live like that and since I had that. I don't know what, I was talking about something. I forget what it was. I ain't come nowhere close to that one. I gotta get back up. Run the numbers up. Run it up, man. Run it up. Run it up. But the channel's growing, so I appreciate you guys for subscribing and supporting the channel, man. Okay. And the one in the back was a childhood friend. Okay. All right. Y'all was the crew. Y'all was tight. I got a few homies, but they all back up north, man. Look, every time I go up there, I get paranoid when I get around them because they was into too much back in the days, and I don't know what they into no more. Like, so I come up there, I be paranoid, I be ready to leave. I can't tell you, man, how many times, bro, I used to be around my boys, and I'm like, man, what a life. What a life. I had to do that to make sure that the mic was working. So yeah, I mean, I would try to bring some of the guys on too, like to do like a collab or a feature with them. Okay, when you plan on doing that? I got to set the alert for that. I set my alert so I make sure I come through there. So I gotta get. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna probably be off for the next couple of days. It looks like I looked at the weather forecast and stuff, and like I said, this is like one of them days, man. This is Trash Talk Tuesday, man. That's what I. We're gonna have trash. We're gonna trash them on Tuesday. This is a dumpster fire. We're gonna burn it down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally, we talking trash. Maybe. Okay, yeah. I wanna hear. I wanna see about that. I wanna check in. I wanna check. Find. Get caught up with everything that has been going on because I guess you just just touched down not long ago, and so we wait for the what I'm saying, that interview right there and stuff. I'm gonna hear what he got to say. But it's always a blessing when, what I'm saying, when somebody is comes back into, what I'm saying, the presence of, the family, especially after they've been away for a while and stuff like that. A lot of things change. A lot of people, you know, um, a lot of people don't expect, people change because some people, they will be gone for a while, and then everything changes, like everything changes. So it's sometimes it's just it's a challenge for some people, but when you got that support, that's why I say it's always good when people come back, and then you got that support, that network, man. You know what I'm saying, to get you know get get your compass, get your compass, to find the right direction to go in and stuff. And that's always a blessing to be able to be a part of that, to help in situations like that. I know I had mad people that helped and supported me, when I went away and did some time and stuff. I had to turn myself in. That was the worst day ever, bro. I had to turn myself. They had to. I was like, y'all got to come get me. I ain't going. It took 5 years. I finally got tired of running. I said, man, look, let me go get this over with, bro. Yeah, look, they said the prosecutor said the McLean files, like it was some mystery. And said they just that what happened to this guy? What happened? He was supposed to come in. He said he would leave and he'd be back. And he didn't come back. Then he came 5 years later. He come popping up. You want to get it over with now, sir? I said offer still stands. I said, yeah, I take it back. Yeah, be safe, man. While you you know, while you running those controls, you running handling business over there, big business going on over there. And I see what you're doing. That's heavyweight. That's a heavyweight type of deal. You know, man. Listen, I kind of miss it. I do. I don't like. Let me tell you, man, because I've been around construction my whole life, pretty much. Right. I was a bricklayer. I've done landscaping. I've operated my equipment. I had some stuff. I was doing my own thing. You got to have all kinds. To survive, you got to do so much these days. You know what I'm saying? And there's times when like your main income could be done slow down. If you're in construction, your I mean, that's like I put a video. I think I put a short up. Yeah, I put a short up this morning of like how the winters used to be. Go check it out, man. We had like a foot or 2 feet of snow, right? And I was out there cleaning off my truck, my pickup truck. Then I had to go over there to my truck with the plow because that my Chevy, I was gonna put a plow on it, my Silverado, but I had just got it and I didn't want to mess it up. But I have another truck with a plow. So I put the video up over there this morning. I think a short where I had to go clean off the snow. I mean, it was mad snow. And I did not want to go and do it, but the thing about it, you gotta pivot sometimes when you in the certain industries and stuff like that. You gotta have some other side work or something, inside work, you know what I'm saying? Because if you work outdoors, you need inside work to sustain you through certain periods. And I learned that like early. That's why I was kind of doing a lot of different stuff to, as independent. Like I worked for myself for so many years, and then I got tired of doing it for insurance reasons. But then when I was in the union, you know, I was back and forth at that time. That's what I mean by pivoting, because there would be layoffs. And so that's cool. I get laid off. I got a pink slip. I'm gonna still have some money coming in. I be done went and go took on a whole remodeling job, some interior work that I done already talked to the people. Cause you can see when the layoffs is on the horizon. Like you on the job, you know when that job getting ready to slow down. You know when what like okay, we getting close to, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna start coming around laying people off. Like, so I'm already trying to give prices to clients, and then I had some people, but I'm not gonna trash. I'm not gonna say trash the unions, but trash the unions, man, because sometimes it's all politics, man. It's all politics, and they told me that before I went in there. It's all politics. Stay here, James. You're gonna go there and you're gonna get laid off. I'm like, I don't care because I'm got a whole bunch of other stuff I could just pivot and start and do in the meantime. And I did that for a long time until I just got tired of it. So I left the union. I kind of stopped doing all the other stuff that I would construction because ain't nobody had no money. People was giving me, you want me to come and do a project? You want me to come estimate a project for you, residential or commercial? Like I had contractors that I will do, general contractors I would do stuff for, right? As I was tied in with them too. And I would be loyal to these guys. Like, yeah, we got a project coming up. We're gonna need you to come in and do some demo. We're gonna need you to, all right, cool. It's about 6, 7 months. The homeowner projects might probably last me few months, few weeks, and then it's adios. It's like a truck driver. You get that load, and then you don't see that shipper no more. So I got tired of doing a lot of that, and that's why I transitioned. I went and got my Class A's for one reason or another, right? And then trucking became my thing for now. It's been about 12 years. All right, and of course, I own my own. I have my own trucks, but now my trucks are parked, and I'm a company driver right now. So, it's ups and downs. You gotta be prepared to, do something, and then, I mean, walking away from a good gig and stuff like that, man. It's really really hard to do, and nobody wants to leave after being somewhere where you have the luxury to kind of write your own ticket, especially when you're in good with the company. But I guess I'm like my dad, man. My dad was like that, because he had his own business too. And he'd be quick to tell somebody, screw it, I'm done, I'm leaving. And he'll go do his own thing. But I think that, that didn't work out too well for him. Not like he would have probably hoped it. I'm pretty sure, because rest in peace, Pop. But he lived a good life and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But once he retired, he was by himself. Cause my my mother been then kicked him to the curb. No, they had been separated long, long, long years ago. But he did the wind up getting back, moving back over there with my mom's. He came on back home where he knew he had bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? When you were retired and she was taking care. I said, "Man, you better you." I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it. He said, yes, life brings changes. Sometimes it's best to go back and forth and being an employee and employer. Yeah, I'm nothing like your own. Nothing like your own. It's all good to be a part of a corporation or a company and everything, but you still want to have, you know, you want to have your own saddle, right? That's it. That's what I learned. You want to have your own, do some side work. I've always talked about the landscaping. That's all year round. I used to do that. You know, um, um, and it's I can't talk no junk about somebody that pays for somebody to come cut their grass. I can't talk junk about you, but I do feel like you should have your own lawn equipment if you have your own crib. But if you don't and you pay for somebody, that's cool, man. That's what's up. Because I was the type of person that I would be the guy that used to, have those residential clients and commercial clients because I used to do it for the banks. I used to do REO property, real estate owned property, bank owned properties. You know, I used to trash out those houses that people used to just leave. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of other things going on. There's a lot of stuff that, people really don't know about how you can be an independent, side hustle, you know, because today it's like only thing people know is go through Uber or go through Lyft or something. That they don't. I mean, I don't know. Like, do you guys know you can go start a lawn business and make buku money? You know what I'm saying? Like, and certain areas of the country, yeah, you get the lawns. Certain areas of the country, you gotta have that snow shovel when that snow come through, and it's gonna come heavy. Now, if you ain't ready, you better get ready. I don't really meant it, but lazy people make the world. He said, "Lazy people make the world go round." Yo, that's deep. That's deep, in. You're right. You're right. People don't want to cook. Sorry about that. That was one of my co-workers just hit me up. He's returning my call. I called him earlier today to kind of vent. Yo, they canceled the job because of rain. It's raining. You working? I call him and say, you working? He's like, nobody's working today. But you're right, and lazy people make the world go round, man. And see, you got to capitalize on that. A real hustler is going to definitely see, you know, opportunities in that, and that's why I say like they put a lot of emphasis on gig work. I would trash gig work. Well, wait a minute. Well, certain gig work needs to be trashed, thrown in the trash. Yeah, I'm right. Certain gig work needs to be thrown in the trash because um, I've never done it. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Like when it came up with the term, when it came up with the term gig work, I was like, what do they mean by that? Because I'm a hustler. I've been one from I used to do newspapers. I used to rake clean people's gutters. I was in junior high school doing this stuff. I used to vacuum out and detail cars when I was in junior high school for my father, and he would give me $100 a car as a kid because he worked on nothing but nice cars and stuff, right? but I would do the cleaning and detailing, right? And I would get $100 a car. I wasn't getting cars like that. Those were the weekends that I would, him and my mom were separated. So those were the weekends that I spent with my father, and they would be working on cars, and I would wash the car and detail it. And I would get $100 for that car. I probably only get one car, but and those are the weekends. I was like, Mom, I want to go spend the weekend at grandma's house because my father lived with his moms. You know what I'm saying? I was little, you know? And I'm like, I want to go to my grandma. I used to catch a train. To New York, to my father's up there from Connecticut. I stayed on Metro North as a kid, right? Hiding in the bathroom. I didn't even have train money. I get on the train and go hide in the bathroom because I'm going to make some money. I could pay him coming back. He didn't bring me home. He and my mother had a, you can't come around here. That was their agreement. So it was crazy, but when they came up with gig work, and I started hearing about gig work, and then you find out nowadays like they're doing DoorDash or um, I guess that when they started doing Uber and Lyft, those are considered like gigs. I'm saying to myself, what the heck is a gig? Gig work. I got into doing all of this other type of work because I wasn't lazy. I was a kid that would, my paper route used to take till it was dark. And I had pocket full. But those were my customers. The same people I delivered newspapers to, I used to clean their gutters. Um, what else? Snow. I had to go through the route to deliver the newspapers. So I'm gonna shovel your driveway too, and your walkway. I was getting paid. And then my boy Domingos, Domingos, the Portuguese brothers, Johnny and Johnny and Domingos Bayer. We all lived in the same neighborhood. Like went to school together, walked home and everything. They stole my paper route, him and his brother. The two Portuguese, the gooses. Years later, we're on a construction site together. Johnny and his brother. Johnny's the little brother. So Johnny, we over there, they're doing whatever they were doing. I think they were hauling, they were doing some hauling dirt or something. But I was on a job with I was working with a small bricklaying company. That's why I got into bricklaying as a laborer. And then, so we were all there. We're all good friends to this day still. I knew Johnny and them before the guy that I was working for even knew them. And they were like, "You guys know each other?" I was like, "Yeah, I went to school with them." They stole my paper route. I used to always throw it in his face. "You stole my paper route, Johnny. You and your brother Domingo." Me and Domingo was in the same class, and we were pretty tight. And I think Domingo went back and told his brother, like, "James got a big paper route." And then they teamed up and stole it. They got it. I was like, "Y'all dirty. Y'all should have stayed on the other side of town, man, where y'all was at. On the other side. Y'all could have had all of that over there." They had a small route, but they wanted more customers. I was the one doing all the customers because I had been doing it way before them. Then they picked up on it that one summer, and But the reason they got it, like I said, I used to go to New York, and I would be gone on the weekends, and that Sunday newspaper used to be rough for me. Because the Sunday paper, everybody wanted them the Sundays because it had all the coupons and the funnies, right? They were stealing my freaking route, bro, right in front of my eyes. it would get less and less and less customers. I was like, 30, and I found out it was them. I said, "Yo, I took my shot back." I said, "You can have it. I don't want it no more. I'm making all that money anyway. I'm good. I'm good." Freaking Domingos and Johnny. That were my boys though. The Portugoose brothers. The Goose. That's why I see him when I see him like, "What up, Goose?" Shout out to them too, man. They're on my Facebook as well. And I don't think they even know I do YouTube, but I bet you if what they find out, they're gonna be all up in here. Yep, those are my boys. But yeah, life is it'll take you so many different places because, like I said, man, I done went away and did some time. You know what I'm saying? I did all kind of stuff. You know. Wait a minute, these are heavy. This. Wait a minute. Somebody, Pacos, shut up. What the heck? Pacos, Pacos, shut up. 1, 2, 3. My 79-year-old grandpa just got released from prison after 5 years out of a 57-year sentence, thanks to everyone who came together to get him out early. He was charged with human trafficking and kidnapping. Wow. Well, shout out to your grandfather who just coming home. He's 79. Wow. Is this a real story or are you capping? And I'm not being funny. Because if he did get out after serving time for trafficking and all that other stuff, they gave him a lot of time. He said 50, oh, 57. Oh, okay, 57-year sentence. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. He's been out 5 years. How is that? How is that? I mean, how is the transition for him at that age? That's like OJ Simpson coming home, you know what I'm saying, after doing time. OJ Simpson coming home after doing time for, for I guess um whatever, I mean, did he do it? Did he not do it? I mean, they convicted him on something. He went to jail. He only had to do 5 years. Okay. For trafficking? Thank you, brother. We're so happy that he's out. I know. Look, whenever somebody family member gets locked away, man, I had a whole lot of support while I was incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man, because I was just saying this to myself. I've always find myself in some of the most catch 22 situations. All right. I'm like, how did I get here? When I'm in it, I should not be in this situation. It's crazy. It's crazy because life will throw you a curveball, man. But you got to be, you you if you playing hardball, don't think it's everything's it's going to be straight down the down the center. You just swing and you pretty much you're gonna hit that thing. It don't just come straight. That life don't throw straight shots at you. They throw it's curveballs, man. There's stuff in the dirt, bro. You know, and you do your best. You do your best. You get up there. You get it. You dig in. You dig in. You get yourself your stride, and you try your best, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's good that you have the support of the people that's closest to you, especially if with all the pitfalls that are out here, man. And shout out to your grandfather too, man. I mean, he's an OG. He did 5 years. He's an OG. So they took him. They came and arrested him when he was probably 51 years old. Threw all these charges on him. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, 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 no. He's 79, so he did 5 years. So we subtract this 5 years from 79 brings him to about 74. I'm guessing. Yep. So he was 74 years old, and they threw him in prison and sentenced him to 57 years. He never thought he was getting out, right? And things changed and turned around for him. Everybody came together and got him out. Probably the charges were just bogus, and whatever the case was, yeah, that support, while you're in there as well, Aunt. While somebody's in there as well, and it's more importantly when they come out. Well, when they come out is important, but more importantly, I think when they're in there, they need that support. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing but you're surrounded by a bunch of, not saying everybody that's in there is, a criminal, but you got people that are beg to differ. Like, no, they're in there because they did what they did. There's a small percentage of people that go to jail that are wrongfully accused. I don't know about the justice system. Maybe they don't have such a good, average of, convicting the wrongfully accused or convicted, those because there's a lot of the recidivism rate. So they would just charge you, and because of prior charges, you can get sentenced. Like, okay, well, the court system is he said, true, true. Inside support makes a person, uh, inside support makes a person not give up, right? Because you're pretty much on a daily basis. Um, you don't want to be there, first of all. You're remorseful. Somebody is remorseful. I was very remorseful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, I know I should have been selling that stuff. The money was good. Uh, I was remorseful, but I wasn't planning to come out and do it again. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back here. I ain't doing this. I'm gonna start a business. I had a vision of everything I was trying to do when I got out legit. I had a vision while I was in there of doing it. I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. God gave me a vision. Thank you, Lord. He said, go out and start yourself a business, James. You'll be all right. And that's what I did. And I never looked back. That guard walked me out of there, and he tried to talk some junk to me on the way out. He tried to throw something in my head saying, oh, do you have any kids? I was like, yeah, I got a son. And I just had a daughter. My wife had a daughter while I was in there. That's why I turned myself in, because my daughter was coming. I was like, I'm going to go get this over with. And he said, oh, man, I feel sorry, man. You ain't going to be able to spend no time with your kid. I'm looking at him like, what you mean? I'm on my way home. He's like, you'll be back in a while. I said, man, I ain't coming back. Man, I don't know what you tell me. You tell that to somebody else. This your little speech you give to people when you walk them, what I'm saying, to the release part of the jail, like, down to the AP room. You do this all the time? I said, man, I don't want to hear it, man. Just shut up, man. Just shut up, man. I'm not coming back. You'll never see me again. And I've never been back. I told that guard to shut up. I said, you got me messed up, homeboy. And I turned myself in, like literally. I turned myself in. I did a 5 year stretch on the run. I did a 5 year stretch on the run, ducking and diving. I mean, I only came out at night. You know what I'm saying? With third shift or no shift. And then my mother, I was working under the table with my man doing doing the masonry stuff. My mother told him, turn him in. He told me, he said, your mother wanted me to turn you in. He said, what you want to do? I said, man, she crazy. He said, I ain't gonna tell nobody. He said, cause it wasn't to his best interest to, man. He had me over there working like a slave. But Mark was true. Shout out to my man Mark, man. That was my man. Mark put plenty of money in my pocket. I ain't even going front. He okay. You know, hey, you know. My mom's tried, she was like, she said, he need to go get that taken care of. I was like, man, I'm not going. My wife would tell you, man. I ran for 5 whole years, man. Then I just got tired of it. And then my baby girl, my daughter right now, my oldest daughter, the one that graduated, um, she's going for her master's degree. She got the bachelor's. She did her 4 years, she got her bachelor. And she's in the master's program. I was in SEG when she was born. I had beat this dude up. I was in there wilding, man, because I had too much on my mind. And that's what I say about that support. You were right to support because, see, I was going to lose him. My wife getting ready to have a baby. I'm incarcerated, right? Somebody tried to play me, and that was it. That was it. She was going in, she was coming to visit me every day. I had contact visits. So, I mean, she'd be up there twice a day. She'd come in the morning and then come later in the evening. Like, oh man, I'm like, yo, stop coming to see me, bro. I just want to get this over with. It wasn't even a lot of time. I ran for 5 years. I could have been had that over with like 4 or 5 times over. That little bit of time. I didn't want to go in there. I was like, nah, man, I ain't going in there, man. I don't even want to be in there because it's so negative and things is just crazy and so I got to like they put me in like I had to go to like a super maximum prison. Supermax. I was in Supermax. I stayed there as a permanent party, but I was one of the trustees. And so, during that time, a couple of my homies came through there with heavy charges. Heavy, they not getting out. They not. He's still in there now, right? Uh, I don't even really talk about it. I could, that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother show and everything. But really, what he did was crazy. And they changed the whole witness protection laws because of this dude, man. They changed all that. The witness protection laws changed because of this man, one of my homeboys that I went to church with. Figure that. Because they wasn't trying to hear it. They was, when they stopped coming to church, they got into the street life. So we got to pray for them. But he ain't getting out. He ain't never getting out. He ain't never getting out. So I went to the Supermax and I was there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Then after serving as a trustee there, I was able to, I had to do 6 months as a trustee, and then they transfer you anywhere that you might request to any low minimum security facility. So I went from Supermax to a minimum security, right? Because I was a trustee anyway. I didn't have those kind of charges. I just went on a run and didn't want to do my time. Like I was like, nah, man, I ain't going in there. And then when I did go in, I went into the worst facility that they built by choice because I was like, uh, I'll take that route because after 6 months of me doing that, they could send me to a minimum security facility and I can actually get sent to the county jail and work in the county jail and be able to have outside clearance and I could be standing outside the jail on the same in the same city where like I'm outside all the time. You know, you'd be seeing people outside, and plus I had people that was, we all got people that work in there. My god brother was, you know, freaking a captain. You know what I'm saying? I knew the deputy warden. I used to, you know what I'm saying, hang out with they people. So I knew some people, and I was trying to go through the, get down there. He ain't just gonna send me anywhere, right? So I did it that way. And then when I did get out, because I had a lot of support while I was in there, you know, and that guard that was trying to talk junk to me when he was walking me out when I was going home, he was a scumbag. He was a scumbag, this dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you crazy, man. You got me twisted, bro. Shut up, man. You don't even know me, man. Just get me down to the AP room, man. My people waiting. You know what I mean? We going out for steak tonight. Word. A lot of dudes don't have support while they are in, and they hustle the wrong way and get more time and get taken out. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Okay, here's a question about the Trump account. Trump account, I heard that they give you a free vacation to the islands when you're uh, underage. Well, all right. Come on, bro. Are you serious? I don't know who told you that. Okay. Is that Ant said, I've been out since 2014 with no mess ups. Shout out to Ant for being squeaky clean ever since 2014. Hey, that rhymes. We could make a song. Squeaky clean since 2014. Huh? How you like me now? What that hat you said last night flew your mind? You said what that you had a hat on. What was that hat you had on? I think it said free your mind. Free your mind and your butt will follow, right? Just got out of juvenile probation violated. Well, who's this? Draco. Draco. I hope you don't got one of those things you run around with. You got the Draco. Draco said, I just got out of juvenile probation violated every day, and nothing happened. So you were out here violating Draco out here violating every single day, and nothing happens. Like you ever heard of the long arm of the law, brother? You think you're getting away with something, Draco? You want to mess around? You want to f around and find out? You better chill, brother. Uh, React the young boy fast music. He got me Freemason chains. Draco says he's got me. Who got you? Who got you? I never got to work outside the. Oh, you never got to work outside the gates? Yo, let me tell you something, bro. Me and my man was me and my boy while we was in the we were trustees and stuff, right? Why they got us over there where they got all the uniforms for the shit for the people, right? For the guards and stuff, right? So homeboy gonna go put a whole uniform on. I said, man, you try. I said, what you got? Because they had to, this where they get you your uniforms, right? He gonna dress up like a daggone sheriff or like a correctional officer. He put the whole took off his thing and put it on. I'm looking at this dude like, yo, you a sellout, man. You crazy, bro. You're supposed to be over here with us. You want to try to jump sides and stuff. I know they let us out here, but we ain't free. Us ain't free. What you doing, man? What you doing? You gonna dress up, and then you start giving me orders. I said, if you don't take that off and the people come, man, you going down, bro. And I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not trying to help you. So yeah, put one on. Hey, here's one your size. No, we ain't doing that. Dude, crazy. He's crazy. My man Raheem, man. Shout out to Raheem Burke. My boy Raheem. Raheem was a nutcase, bro. And he used to have me cracking up, bro. I swear. But we was, we had, I mean, not saying that because a lot of these guys get up in the joints, and they're not remorseful. They go in there, they don't they don't meditate on what they did. They're playing cards all day. No shade to the card players, no the poker players, because I sat and played with them all the time, gambling and everything. I was making dice out of toilet paper. We was doing all of that in there. You know what I'm saying? You know. And because especially when we got to where when I got to where I was in the day room or in the open, like in cubicles as opposed to 2 men in a cell. And I like this. I had a single cell. I was a single cell when I was in Supermax. Supermax, they don't put you in a cell with nobody anyway. It wasn't none of that there. But before I got there, when I first came in through county and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, we was up in the 2 men in the cell type of joint. When I first turned myself in, I had to go through, through the county before they send me upstate, and that's the same county where I came back to. My godbrother was there. He remembered the night I came in. You know what I'm saying? Um, Trying to think, it was a couple of times he looked out for me too. He used to come look out for me. Slide me the cell phone. Landscapers are back. Let me close. Man, they're just blowing off. They done already cut, so that means they getting ready to leave. After they blow everything off, they're out of here. So, uh, but uh, it's very important to have the support because I know so many guys that would just be you know sit around and they still was kind of running things out there anyway. But some of them wasn't going home. Some of them was they were going to get out and they was planning to get out and go you know finish off the job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bruh, you gonna find yourself back. Like, but you know, some people are part of a certain life, and that's what that life, kind of uh it warrants and stuff. And so, you want to encourage people not to get, don't get drawn into that. I mean, you got to be low key about trying to talk against those guys too while you in there, because I've been in joints when, um, I didn't just do time one time. All right, I did time before. I had to walk the Green Mile. I was walking around the yard all the time and stuff. Waiting for hoping that my level would drop so I can get off that compound because there was a lot of tension out there. Hey, Corey, shout out to you. Hey, so yeah, she said greeting to the chat. Y'all welcome her and say what's up. So um, there's been times when you got you got the you know different groups, and there'd be some tension. There'd be tension. When the tension is on the compound, because it's spread just like that. And it's like, all right, so we had to walk to the chow hall, right? My mic keep going that way. Boom. Okay. So we had to walk to the chow. You know, you got to walk to the chow hall. And when you got to walk to the chow hall, it could be like 200 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 100 dudes or something. You know, they got A, B, C. You know, and I mean, there were times when they used to put on shows in there, man, and DJs would be in there. Got the DJ in there. You know, this is when I don't know, man. You know, I don't know how it is now with the, you know, the you know, the prisons were ran by the inmates. All right, the prisons, as far as I've always known, were ran by the inmates. You know, Corey, you better be listening and yeah, and working too. So, you know, and a lot of these guys, man, they're not here no more, man. But you know, those are some of the stories that had you know, wind up happening where guys left to go home, right, after serving their time, but they already had, you know, a lot of negative influence while they were in there, right? A lot of pressure on them too. Like, yo, when you get out, you gotta go take care of this. And like I said, one of my homies, when I was in Supermax, um, the Witness Protection Act, they changed those laws because of him. They changed that witness protection. Hey, I'm sorry about that, man. I am sorry, you guys. Apologize. But yeah, we left it where I left off at because ah, my phone died on me. So I had to put a charge on. Someone told me, put charge on Jimmy. He's gonna go out. All right. So, hmm, let me see. All right. I'm sorry. Corey says you got the same hat as me, Sweezy. Woo! No, it. You rocking NY today. That's what's up. You got good taste in hats. Corey's got a New York hat on like me. Um, but so to finish what I was saying, and I do apologize that the stream had got kicked off or went out. Um, so like I was saying, they changed they changed that law. So, but here's the thing about that, right? Here's the thing about that. When I saw him in there, when I saw you know, one of my one of the guys that you know I know growed up with pretty, you know, we went to school together, and like I said before that, you know, we just have a history. We know each other, like, you know, from church and stuff and everything when we were younger. And so when I seen him in Supermax, it was already all over the news, like what he was, what was going on, and, you know, what happened, and, you know, and I seen him, and I asked him, I was like, "Yo, why'd you do that, bro?" And it was tight. This is a classic case of your best friend backstabbing you, not just backstabbing you, but taking your life, bro. It was not, it was not, and not just that, it didn't stop there. It did not stop there, you know?
The story is a very heartbreaking story. I'm not trying to really talk about it because I don't want to talk about that. I just trying to make an example and stuff of what happened in that, that era, you know, with my life, you know, heartbreaking, man. And I asked him, I said, why'd you do that, man? Why did you do that? And I remember kind of the look that he had on his face because, now you still going back and forth to, you still going.
All right, so I guess I could keep talking, but I don't know, man. This thing acts like it wants to keep on taking me out, man. Taking me out, brother. Taking me out. I don't know if the battery is not charging, or if it is, it says it's charging, but then again, you never know. So we're gonna just keep on going with it like this. If I lay it down this way, hopefully it'll charge. You know what I'm saying? But just to kind of finish the story and everything, Um, so I asked him, I said, why'd you do it? And the look on his face was kind of it was remorseful, because I think I feel like he knew at this point that he done messed his life up. Was it worth it? He did he unalived another man. And sadly, a child as well. I don't understand how people, can. I don't know what this guy's now, where his mind is at. Actually, well, he didn't unlock his, the brother. His brother did that. His brother did that. But that's the thing, having that pressure on somebody to go do something. You know, um, when you're faced with, the consequences of, but you'll be prosecuted for your crimes. A lot of people are sitting in there waiting for their day in court. And so sadly, uh, when you got people that's on the outside, sometimes um, that support is weaponized. You know what I'm saying? This was a case where he weaponized the support that he had, you know, and tried to use his resources on the outside to do what, I guess what was needed, what was necessary in order to stop him from being prosecuted. And then so they went after the witness. And uh, I don't know. Yeah, I do believe that during that whole time that it all had played out, because I believe his brother was in, and because the brother went after the witness. I believe his brother was being held somewhere else. I don't know if that he was there because I was in permanent party. I was in Supermax. Anytime they brought in high security people, you heard about it. Like, oh, because these high profile cases were all over the news. So when somebody came in, you heard about that. You knew you knew that this guy has just now entered the building. You knew that this high profile case was being housed probably in the next dorm or the next court. Other, okay, so I got a better connection, and if this thing ends this last time, I'm just gonna end it, man. It ain't, it does, it does matter to be able to have this discussion. Unfortunately, technology needs to be trashed on Tuesday. I could trash some tech today, man. But I'm gonna keep talking over here like this. I had to come over here. Yeah, so I I know for a fact that it's so easy. I mean, and I know that a lot of the guys that have been in that situation, they can tell you the same thing. A lot of times you have, and I wouldn't call it. See, because I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say that the gangs are, you know, or were. I'm gonna say are now. I don't know what these gangs are doing now. If they still have gangs anymore, you still part of the gang? Yeah, it's still part of the gang. Like the Proud Boys or something. They got all kind of gangs now. That's me. ICE is a gang. But they still do the same things will pressure somebody. Some pressures on these. There's a lot of pressure on these people, man. If you don't have that support from your people, that type of support, especially while you're in you know a confined or you're being detained, you know, against your will. I didn't willfully go in. I had to. I did. Well, I said, well, you willfully turned yourself in, didn't you? It was in my best interest because the long arm of the law would wind up catching me, and only God knows what at that point in my life what that might have caught me doing, right? Caught me with. It was just only added to my to my stay while I was there. I said, this is the best bet. Go ahead and knock it out and get it done now. You already made and did what you needed to do and handle business and this and that, and you were working and doing all these other things, and you situated, time for you to go handle this, right? Called and told, and I told you, I told my wife's uncle is a bail bondsman, so I called him and said, yo, man, you know, I need to, I need you to bring me down there to the police station so I can go ahead and do this. But he didn't. I mean, I wasn't out on his bounty. There was another bounty that I didn't go back. different bail bondsmen. So, my wife uncle wasn't, because he would have came and got me. He would have came right to the house and like, yo, you ain't show up for court, man. You know? 5 years. What the hell do you think this is? I'm losing money. It wasn't him. I didn't, I didn't have him as my bail bonds. So, but like I said, that support is very important because I know for a fact that there's so many people that will be incarcerated. And it could be for anything. It don't have to always be for a crime that was a violent crime. It doesn't have to be that there is a, you know, one of those things where, I mean, I can think about, if I had to think back, it's been so many years. So many. I mean, it's been so. Let's see. Here's my oldest one. My oldest one. Okay, so Asia was born. Asia, my oldest daughter, the one that was born when I haven't been back since it's been over 25 years because she's turning 25 this year. She's married. She's got her bachelor's degree, and she just came back from Columbia. But when I came home after doing that little bit of time, and it wasn't even a lot of time, it was a little bit. Like I said, I ran for 5 years. I could have got it over with in no time. I could have did that stretch 2 or 3 times over because I did like probably about close to a year and a half, almost. For the charge. 25 years ago. I know for a fact that people will, they don't have to be in there for heavy charges, but you can still get, you still can be in there and not have support from, people on the outside while you're in there for something small. And people like literally feel left, and forgotten about, no support from, like I said, I just get this every single day. You get a guy that never get a visit. You get a guy that never gets mail. You get a guy that don't never have nobody send him no money to get anything. Those are the guys that really, when they come back out into society, they are going to have a hard time, transitioning into a positive, role in somebody's life, anybody's life, in society. You come back out and, if you have, let's say you don't have any kids, you don't have nobody, I get it. But if they have somebody and then they just kind of feel abandoned while they're in there, then they get embraced by some of the guys that are, not really in the right mindset or not at all in the right mindset while in there. Like they're there to cause, they're causing chaos, ready to just rebel against, authority, rebel against, the rules of the house. It is sometimes, like I said, the inmates used to run the place. Ran it back in the day. The inmates ran the jails. Inmates ran the institutions. And they have rules, right? But you get somebody that ain't got nobody supporting them on the inside. They don't care nothing about the rules that the inmates set, the convicts set. They're going, ain't nothing more petty than a jailhouse thief. Cause don't nothing in there cost nothing. But you got somebody that run around and that's a petty individual. They steal your milk, little carton of milk. They steal that. They steal your toothbrush. They'll steal your shoelaces. They'll steal your pictures of your girl. Be like, this is my girl. I'm like, nigga, that that your girl? Running around talking about this his girl, because once he steal all your stuff, it's still your drawers, your socks. I mean, that's petty, man. Come on, ain't nothing worse than a jailhouse thief, man. You stealing stuff up in here that you could go and get for about, go sweep some floors for about a day or two. You can afford this stuff. They just steal it because they don't want to. They don't want to do no work in there. Ain't nobody sending them no money. They'll just resort to stealing your tray of food. It's crazy. I don't mean to laugh, but some people just don't care. And then you gotta, you know, anytime somebody would steal something, boy, the inmates will go through and shake the place down. You don't need the guards to shake the place down. The inmates are gonna shake everything down. When we find them, oh Lord. So I just feel sorry for people, man, because they didn't have that support. And so it's very important that you have support while you're in there as well as while you're out, because see, you don't want to get out and be feeling bitter. But then while you're in there, you get embraced by all the wrong people. And then you're getting released. There's people that mess with, they don't want you to go home. They'll set you up. They'll set you up in there because they know you're getting ready to get out. And you got to be careful of that. Hey, how you been? Her journey ahead. How's everything going? How's it going? I'm glad you can join me too. I'm glad you can join me. How's the weather up there? Are you guys still getting the smoke coming from Canada, from the fires? Because I know you're upstate, New York. I see you laughing at me. Why you? You know. What do you mean? You're gonna leave to save? You're leaving to save? What do you mean? I don't know. I thought that was the transition. Was the Oh, you're in Jersey. So we're wait. So wait a minute. You went to New Jersey? You're out in New Jersey? I didn't know you were in New Jersey. I'm thinking you were upstate. So wow, I didn't know that. So you've been long left upstate. Okay. I don't know what that arrangement is over there. I thought it was. I mean, I was under a totally different impression of how it how it's go how it was set up. I don't have a clue, but you know how I'm rooting for you either way. The best to happen for you too, and when you're gonna get them soaps going, I'll be able to order something from you. I know I said that before, when my mom was still living, because I remember. I don't know if you remember, 'cause she was having some skin issues when she was going through chemo, and I was telling her about you. But I'm glad that I'm hoping everything is gonna be. I know they got to take a minute to care. Hoping everything is going well. And I'm glad that you stopped over here too to holler at me and show me some support. I appreciate you. I gotta catch you too. We all got our lives, And I know that you were saying how when I was talking about the work situation thing, people, I read your comment and thank you for that. The positivity and stuff. Yeah. Because they're gonna start telling. You know it. You know it, and I know it. So you have a great day. Yep, and that's why I was saying. Thank you for that comment that you left on my other video about the same situation we just was saying. All right, now. All right, just stay safe. All right, hun. Peace. Uh, but I have to have the phone right here like this right now so it can get a proper charge. I don't know what was going on with me having it up. Whether I changed cords and I was over there, I was in front of, I had it plugged into the computer and it just wasn't charging. It kept cutting off, cutting off, cutting off. So I said, then I laid it down and still didn't matter. It just cut off. So I said, let me go plug into a real connection into the wall and sit over here, just sit here and chat with y'all about, some of the topics and stuff we was talking about. I'm just trying to, again, I got to get watch time. So you guys are going to be um, starting to, everybody's going to start seeing. I'm going to do a little more getting on here and talking and having this discussion, trying to run up the likes, trying to run up the watch time hours, trying to just, go a little harder. YouTube wants me to go hard. They're like, how bad do you want it? Are you going to do it? I mean, you got to get past a certain, I got to get past a certain number. The channel is growing. I appreciate everybody for joining, for subscribing, the people that are watching, and yeah. I mean, I got a whole lot of stuff that I can talk about outside of the trucking thing. Just everyday experiences. My past experiences, real life stuff, real life ish, ish. And keep it clean. I'm gonna try to. Some of this stuff is not clean. It wasn't good. It was rough. It was come up, man. I'm one of the ones unfortunate to still be here, man. And if you're like me, of course you already know, man. Like beat the odds, bro. You beat the odds. So we still here for a reason. So it's best that we kind of, dig deep into, what it is that makes us who we are. Dig deep, go look at that, share that with the world. I'm sure somebody out there can resonate with that. Somebody out there understands all of the strain, all of the struggle, and all of the pain that I've gone through to get to where I'm at. And I still go through it every day. Man, you got mad people out here hating, man. They hate. You know why they hating, right? Because a brother like me still here, right? If you think they hating on me now, imagine when I was 19, 18, 17. Come on, man. I had none. People was, oh my Atlanta. But I had a lot of respect. I had a lot of respect. I give it to them. I thank the Lord for that, man. So I had a very lot of respect. I had tremendous respect from a lot of people. Still do. You know, when I moved on and I moved down here out of state down to North Carolina and I left, I kind of looked back as I was leaving and I was like, nah, it's time to go, bro. It's time to go because, I have to, you know, it's a whole different level when you get, when we, and I say, yeah, I can go back to my old hood. It ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't have, I never had that. I actually moved from where my roots are to, to move to where my wife's roots were from. And that's backwards. That's backwards. Because the Bible don't say, hey man, go move in and move up in there where she's from. it says that once y'all two get together, then she gotta come with y'all. Gonna go over to another different place. You know what I'm saying? And do it like that, right? So I definitely was kind of I mean, I got a lot of respect even in her area, her town where she from. Like once people started getting to know me, of course, I don't know why, but I'm gonna say why. Like, kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that I was pretty much, um, you know, it was time for me to leave because what they say, you're the man. If you're the man, you could be the man in your own town, but if you can go to another town and make it pop, now you really, what I'm saying, you on to something. And I always was like that. I always was pretty much a traveler, like a nomad, pretty much like I will go and seek out and move, and I move differently from a lot of people, bro. Especially from, like the people I really was clicked up with or whatever, in high school. I moved so different from them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm thankful that I'm still here, man. I had so many of my close friends, man, just at such early age gone, man. That could have been me, man. That could have been me, man. There's times when there was situations that happen and things like that, man. We still talk about this stuff today, bro. Because it's like some of this, you want to bury the hatchet on certain things, you know, and there's some people that just they can't bury that hatchet. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't with me. It never was like I don't have that outstanding or long standing nothing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I know people like my immediate circle that I used to deal with. So that's why I kind of moved away because I'm like, you still have things you need to be handling and taking care of as far as your life is concerned. I don't need to be caught up in your drama, not this late in my life, because I've gone through that in our earlier years, and you're still in the funk. That's why a lot of times I say I go back home and stuff, man. I'm annoyed and stuff, man, because everybody want to go out and hang out and everything. I got a friend of mine that he do security. You know what I'm saying? He do armed security, and whenever I come in town, like he's the first person I usually reach out to because why? He's licensed. He's licensed to. He's a licensed security, private security, and he's heavily armed and licensed. So not like I'm coming around in any danger zones, but if I am out and about and I'm in public, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. I don't have to be the target, but I'm not gonna be somewhere where, these things are still being, you know, people are still, out here cutting up and stuff, even some of the older people, but you got all these young people just living so wild and dangerous, you know. I don't go to places like your old town or your old hood and then go hang out at any place. But if there's like, hey man, there's so and so having something, man, we're gonna come through, go through it. All right, yeah, okay, but yo, we gotta make sure we got our, I'm secure, I'm straight because I'm a long way away from home, man. you know, and so I still want to continue to be, living my best life, even though, I'm kind of going back to the the old hood to see people, and I only feel that way because I moved out of there. If I was still there, it would just be the norm. It would just be the norm, right? We suited up. We gloved up, matching, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not leaving, don't leave home without it. And nobody wants to be living like that. I'm like 55. I'll be 55 this year. I mean, I don't, but my buddies, the reason they're
carrying like that is because they live, each day ready. So they stay ready so they ain't got to get ready. And they're licensed, some of them, others are not. And I moved on because I have a family. They got families too. But like I said, it's the norm for them. It's the norm for them. Now down here, in where I live in the country, or not, it's a country, but it's not so much country like you might think. This is Carolina. Everybody and their mom out here is got, they got that thing. And to be honest with you, they're just a little bit more crazier down here, just outright sometimes. I remember when I first moved down here, I'm used to driving 55 miles an hour, bro. I'm not speeding on these back roads like these dudes. They wide open out here. Man, don't you know this dude pulled up beside me and put the gun out and pointed at me and put that thing up? I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, just go. If you want to go around me, go. You ain't gotta pull out. You do not have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I made him mad because I was not going, driving fast like how they drive. But now I drive like everybody else drives now. Well, no, let me say that because I'm a truck driver. So, but everybody drive like they got pedal to the metal down here. Though. I'm just be honest. So, and well, kind of the difference, like I said, I'm down here. I don't feel like I have to. Well, I haven't had any experiences living down here that makes me feel like, hey, you know what? I'm not leaving home without it. Right? Totally different back up north. You know what I'm saying? There was all kinds of things. It was, I guess that was the lifestyle or just the people you caught up with or, around. And, there's people that's getting licked down and everything, all the time, and you're always hearing about what's happening on this side or that side. So, it's pretty much rules of engagement or this is just how it is. Like, it's the norm. You don't leave out the house without it unless you don't mind getting caught slipping. And it just could be because you from a certain side of town where, that's and this is going back. This is, but people were raised that way, kind of raised that way after a while, after so many years of this is how your, your your upbringing is. Like, if you lived in Compton, you can relate. Like, y'all, are you not just out here back in the days? You were not just walking around out here and you're not ready for whatever because this is the climate. This is the day and the time in which we live. So I'm grateful that I made it through that. Like I escaped the odds. So a lot of people are not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my homies, they're not here anymore. Like I said, I just talked about one of my homies that, he's forever in there. Like not getting released, not getting the sentence overturned. You're done. And for the ones that have a second chance, fortunate, lucky enough, blessed, got away with it. You got to think twice now. You know what I'm saying? Can't be high. Can't be so quick to be, got to itchy fingers. You know what I'm saying? Got to itchy trigger finger. You know, because you look at your life and be like, hey man, we made it this far, man. Look, we don't got as much time ahead of us as we have behind us. But whatever time that we still have ahead of us, let's go ahead and try to live our best life. Let's make sure that we can do things differently now. Let's try to move like this now. And so I relocated. You know what I'm saying? I relocated. You know what I'm saying? I was not at the time when I relocated, I was not, had no static or nothing like that. It was just time for me to transition and get my family, to a different place in life. My kids were just getting into high school. My oldest daughter actually just had graduated. She went to her prom. She graduated. She went to her prom. Um,
And my other daughter, she actually went to that prom too because she was dating a senior. She was in the 10th grade, and she was dating a senior. And then my daughter who was a senior was like, I don't think it's fair that she's going to my prom, you know. And I was like, she's dating a guy. The guy asked her to the prom. I don't know, but they both looked so really good that night, and yeah, so it was just time to move, and so we moved after that. You know. Ooh. Excuse me. But yeah, man, that was your boy Swizzy, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, yo, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe for more content. All right, I'm trying to get the numbers up. This is a call to action for y'all, man. Okay, this is a call to action for all you people in YouTube land that watch my videos. Smash the like, share the video, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed. I want you guys to get subscribed to the channel, man, so that way when I put a video out, you get to come in. You're gonna see that I'm streaming, and I'm working on some other things. I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to really do uh, to kind of better uh, the the uh, the content that I put out. You know, better the content. You know, but there's nothing like just having raw conversation. That's what I'm liking. That's what I'm liking. Having raw conversation. King Retro Gaming. Grand morning, grand rises. How are you doing? Appreciate you joining me, man. I'm well. There's nothing like this engaging, man. You know, just having this real conversation. I was just talking about some of my life's experiences. My time over there in the Supermax. When I was in the Supermax. Uh, where are you doing? Where are you at? Oh, you hiding now? Okay, that's my oldest boy, King. That's King. I named him Issa, but he go by King now. I named him Issa. But yeah, I'm grateful that I'm still here, man, to kind of at least share some of my stories with guys, with anybody that's out there that might be able to relate to it. Uh, you know, escape the odds and stuff, man, because the life that I was living. You look at today and say, man, you're doing pretty good, man. You're doing, I guess, I mean, you look at the, I had to make a 360, man. I had to change my life, bro. Or I would have been in a pine box. You know what I'm saying? Or I would have been in Supermax forever. Looking at the world through. I don't know how big the little windows are that they got and stuff. Well, I was there. I know what it's like. I don't want to look out there. I used to sit and look out the windows for hours just to take my mind away from the noise and all the chaos and the stress. I had a life before I went in there. So, and the world has changed so much. My kids are all grown. It's awesome to see that. It's awesome to see that. even my baby boy, like I'm looking at them like, sometimes I'll be like, I'm fed up with y'all, man. Y'all get on my nerves. But I love them to death. I love them. I love them so much. And as much as I love them, I tell them to get out. Yo, you got to go out. Yeah, go sleep in your car. Get out of here. See you later. I get to that point sometimes. I'm like, man, I don't care. So gotta be tough. Or they will try to take advantage of you. They know I got a good heart, Well, we blessed, man. I'm blessed. So I mean, I think I'm done with talking trash today, but look, it didn't even rain. Hold on, I got to get back to that. They canceled this work today, right? And it ain't even raining outside. It ain't even raining outside. So anyway, man, that's about it. I think I'm gonna get off of here now. I've been up here for 126 minutes. 126 minutes, bro. Tell me that ain't a football game. So, but yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know what I mean. Share the video if you hit the notification bell, you'll know when I'm coming up here, and I'm gonna make some more content. Like I said, man, just being raw and real with you. I gotta get to a certain amount of subscribers, so y'all subscribe, man. Once I get there, I can do the members only. Members only is gonna be where you're gonna get the real stuff. You're gonna know what's going on, and I'm not gonna be glorifying no foolishness or nothing like that I've done. But you'll see some of in the members only, you'll see some of. I'll be a little bit more uh, transparent with what's on my mind. It's not that I'll be talking about the past. I give you the future because there's days when I'm hot. I'm hot. I get real hot, and it's hot outside, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when they start tripping and I be flipping, and I'm be like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Bama activity going on. And it could be coworker stuff. It could be all of that, right? I'm a shit. It's Bama activity. And I'm telling you, man, I'm ready to put the Bamas on blast. But I do that in the members only. I won't put that too much on the regular YouTube. So y'all stay tuned for that. Appreciate you for joining me, man. Do me a favor, hit that like button. I'll be out like my Hawaii shirt. With the Hawaii. This dude told me he wanted to drive to Hawaii. I looked at him like, man, I smacked him. Yeah, it's a nice place. I think I'm gonna drive and take a road trip to Hawaii. I'm like, out in the middle of the ocean, dog. In the middle of the ocean, you planning to drive there? What are you smoking? Where are you getting that stuff from? Would you drive to Hawaii if they gave you a truckload to go there? You wouldn't even attempt it, would you? See, he's smart. The other guy, I don't know what he got going on. All right, man. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one, man. It's your boy Swizzy, man. Have a blessed rest of your day, man. All right. Don't let nobody ruin your week. We still got to get through a few more days over here. Hopefully the weather um it could stay like it is now. They just got to stop being scared to work. It's like they're scared to go to work. They're scared. Oh, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Ooh, we gotta cancel. Ooh. Man, get you. If you don't get out there and finish that daggone road, man. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done now. Peace.